Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of In the Kitchen with Chef Jay. So excited to have you at my house again today. We are going to make a delicious and healthy recipe today, pair it with a really nice wine. I'm super excited. For all of my vegans, people aspiring to veganism, or just people looking to incorporate more veggies and healthier options into their meal, today we are doing a vegan egg salad sandwich. So, love this recipe. If you guys are on Instagram, you like food blogs, TikTok, all that jazz, be sure to follow all of my socials, as well as the full recipe for this will be on the website if you need the exact ingredients. Today, we are using mushrooms, chickpeas, vegan mayo. That's going to be the base for our egg salad sandwich, and then we're pairing it with a beautiful dry German Riesling that is just stunning. I've already tried it, a little bit of it just to get a little sip because, you have to quality test your wine beforehand. This recipe, I follow Tabitha Brown on social media. She posted a long time ago, vegan deviled eggs, and I fell in love, y'all. I really, really love deviled eggs, but in an effort to cut some of the cholesterol and just get more healthy nutrients and things. To get started, what you'll need is to get a jar of pickles. You want to take the pickles out of the jar, put them to the side. I gave them to my daughter because she loves pickles. And the mushrooms go into the pickle juice. What we're doing with the mushrooms is the mushrooms take on a kind of consistency like the egg whites. And so you want to pickle these overnight with some black salt. I'm going to put the link to where I got my black salt in the full recipe, but just Google black salt if you've never seen it. If you're not familiar with it, it's really, really interesting. It smells like eggs. You kind of get that sulfur kind of smell. It's funky on its own, but for a recipe like this, it totally gives you that egg flavor that we're looking for. So I put a little bit of the black salt in here with the pickle juice. Mushrooms have been in here overnight. These are just white button mushrooms. We'll drain these off and start making our recipe. Okay, so my pickles are nice and drained. What we're gonna use as the kind of the filling, or what we're evoking as the egg yolk, is chickpeas. We all know all the beautiful health benefits to chickpeas. They're super good for you, but I struggle with eating them sometimes. Like I need a little bit of something going on for me. Chickpeas are not my love language, but like this, they are excellent. So we'll just pop them into a blender. If you've got a food processor, that works, Ninja, all that jazz. With a little bit of your vegan mayo, you can pick the one of your choice. This one for me is avocado oil based. So if you're dairy free or just looking to cut back on dairy, I would invite you to look and try different vegan mayos. I think I tried maybe 5 or 6 of them until I found one that to me actually tasted like mayonnaise. So don't just try one and like, oh, I don't like vegan mayo. Give it a chance. This one is really, really tasty. We want to blend up our chickpeas with just a little bit of the vegan mayo. We're going to blend this one for a little bit longer and then put the mushrooms in. Think about egg salad. There's usually some chunks of the actual egg white in there. And so I want this to be a little bit more blended, a little bit smoother. We'll add in the mushrooms at the end so that there's still a little bit of texture. I've got some nice finely chopped celery. We'll mix that all in and then we'll season everything together. Alright, so the chickpeas are blended up a little bit. Just use your spatula to smush them down if they're not trying to get all in there. And I think I'm going to blend them just a little bit longer. I'm not trying to turn it into mush. I just want a nice smooth-ish consistency. A few chunks is no big deal. It'll still taste good, trust me. So I have my chickpeas blended up. I've strained off my mushrooms that have been soaking in the pickle juice. overnight, and I'm just going to throw these bad boys in here. This is such a good recipe. We're pairing it with Riesling today to just be a nice, bright, refreshing sip after a really creamy kind of sandwich. And I'm excited to share it with you guys. Don't forget to scrape down your sides of your blender or food processor. If it's up on the sides, we want to make sure we have a nice even consistency here. Nice and blended up. If you find that it's not blending and you need to move it around a little bit, you can always add a little bit more of the mayo just to give it some moisture to continue to blend. I feel like this is guilt-free mayo because there's no dairy in it, but you know, let's not go too crazy with it. All right, that looks good. Okay, so our goulash, let's call it goulash, it's all blended up. You're gonna wanna get this into a bowl. Make sure you get all the yummy parts off. Put this all into a bowl, and then we're going to start assembling. Essentially what we're going to need is a little bit more black salt because that is the part that really gives this that egg flavor. And it's really essential to this recipe. I would not recommend trying to do this without the black salt because you'll just be eating garbanzo beans and mushrooms. If that's what you're into, go for it, but that's not what we're going for here today. So we'll do this just like a traditional egg salad. We've got some dill, I'll have the black salt, of course, and a little bit of fresh celery, sweet relish, paprika, and a little bit of mustard. This is really where it just comes down to your personal preference. I like a little bit of bite in my egg salad sandwiches, so putting a little bit of celery in there. You could put red or green peppers or onions if you like. That's not my preferred method. I have a little bit of dried dill weed. If you've got fresh, that works perfectly too. But this is just what I've got at the house, so this is what I'm using. No point wasting what I've already got. But when fresh dill is in season, it is really nice in this. So if you've got some fresh dill, throw some dill in there. Here is the black salt. Such a funny smell of salt. That smells like eggs, but it's all good. Get some of that on there. And then some paprika, of course. You can't do egg salad or deviled eggs or any of that jazz without paprika. This is in an old honey jar that I got from Paris. I could not bring myself to throw out this jar, so now I use it for my bulk herbs. So I don't know, am I the only one that does that? But I love this little jar and I couldn't throw it away. And then we want to go in with some mustard and sweet relish. This will really be to taste, depending on how you like it. I like a little bit of vinegar in my egg salads. You can't just have the mayonnaise, it's just too creamy. Gotta put a little bit of vinegar-based something in there. And then sweet relish. Under usual circumstances, on a hot dog or whatever, I don't like relish, but in here, gotta have it. So a little bit of that, and just a hair more mayonnaise. I will say this is a plant-based meal, but it's not necessarily for diet day, so it's still got calories in it. They're still made with a type of fat, even though it's a healthier fat, there is a fat in here, but there are all the nutrients and things that come with avocado oil and that type of thing in here. So maybe if you're having a little cheat day, you just want something a little comforting, this is a really nice recipe for that. And then just get it all mixed up. You just want to fully incorporate it. You always have to have a spoon to the side because we quality test. Don't follow my recipe or any other recipe as law. You kind of just take it as a foundation and build it and eat it the way you like it. So let me give it a little taste. We'll go check it for, make sure if it doesn't taste eggy and you're not getting that consistency of the egg and that flavor, then you want to add a little bit more black salt, and then we'll finish it with pepper. It's good. It's real good. I'm just gonna do just a skosh. It's my favorite word. Black salt, a little bit more relish. I'm kind of just gonna go in with a little bit more of everybody, just because less is not more, more is more. So just a hair more of everybody into the pot. We'll finish it with pepper. I got these beautiful brioche buns from Sprouts that I probably shouldn't be eating, but I'm doing it anyways. And we are going to have that with some chips today, and I'm excited. A little bit more paprika and a little bit more dill. As for our pairing today, I went with a German style dry Riesling. For those that are new to wine, or if you don't drink a lot of wine, I love Riesling as a grape because there's a little bit something for everybody. If you like sweeter wines, and that's, you know, the style that you're into, the Moscato drinkers, sometimes just whatever you're into. If you like it sweet, there is a sweet Riesling for you. If you like it bone dry, like I like to drink it, there's something for you. Like, it's such a versatile grape. There's really kind of a style of Riesling for everybody, and so just makes for something always nice to have on hand for guests, for multiple styles of meals, and whatever. This one is a dry one, and just for a little wine 101, when it says dry, that means we are talking about there is no residual sugar left in our wine. A lot of people kind of confuse dry wine with tannins, and they'll taste the red wine and say, oh, it's just too dry for me. Usually they're talking about tannins when they say that. And tannins are, it's a compound found in the skins of grapes. And when you taste the wine, it kind of gives you the feeling like there's a wool sweater on your teeth. It's very grippy, kind of grips the mouth, gives you that consistency of like a coating on your teeth. That's tannin. And usually people that don't like red wine don't like tannin. Dry means that there is no sugar left in the fermentation process, and so it means it's not a sweet wine. So if you've ever saw dry on the label and you're thinking, oh, I don't like dry wines, maybe it could be that you don't like tannic wines, because again, those are found in the skins, and a white wine is not typically left on the skins, and so there's not going to be tannin in white wine. But in the fermentation process for this Riesling, they fermented out all of the sugar when they were converting it to the alcohol, and there is a nice dry minerality, just lovely fruit notes. You still get this beautiful flavor of fruit without all of the sugar that it started with. This is the brioche bun. I put a little bit of the egg salad. I put some on here just to kind of show you. I would suggest after you have assembled your egg salad, put it in the fridge for a little bit. It can be a little bit wet and it gets a little loose, and it's easier to kind of keep on a sandwich and keep it all together if it's set in the fridge for a little bit. But I like a messy sandwich. I don't mind getting my hands dirty, and I'm also starving. So I'm gonna have a little bit of this. We'll try it with our wine when we come back, and we'll eat. Okay, you guys, so you have your sandwich. You can choose any bun that you like. The brioche bun is just lovely. I mean, brioche, you really can't go wrong. Get you some chips, pour up your glass of Riesling if you like. This one today is Heinz Eifel. This is a 2015 vintage, so it's got a little bit of age on it, which is kind of nice because the acidity has calmed down a little bit. Just a really beautiful, well-balanced wine from the Mosel region in Germany. Really excited for this. The thought process behind this pairing today, the sandwich is still very creamy. I know that it's plant-based. I know that there's no technical dairy in it, but it's very creamy. It coats your mouth. Just a really nice bite of sandwich. The Riesling is coming in to just work as a palate cleanser and just be really refreshing. And I just, to kind of wake up your palate and refresh it for a new bite. I'm gonna take a little bite of this because I have to. You guys, it's good. I obviously am not vegan, but I can appreciate vegan things. I can appreciate when comfort foods are healthier and I'm incorporating more more plants into my diet. Mushrooms are great anti-inflammatories. They are great for vitamin B. They're great for cancer reducing. They're a superfood essentially. Very, very high in protein, low in calories. So adding in mushrooms into your daily intake is a really good idea for just increasing vitamins and minerals, decreasing your cholesterol. Eggs have cholesterol, mushrooms have none. Protein, everything you can want, and there's a lot of water in them as well, so you're getting in some water intake. It is delicious. You know, it's like you don't always have to do the plant-based version, but I think this is a really nice alternative. You can have this a lot more often than you could a traditional egg salad. Gotta try it with the wine. It's nice. This is just, look for a dry wine with some minerality. This is limestone and key limes and a little bit of grapefruit. It's very refreshing on my palate. This is coming in and coating everything, making my taste buds happy. This is refreshing them, so I'm ready for a new bite. I hope that you guys enjoy this recipe, and I see you guys again soon. Until next time, cheers.